everybody, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a chip in my windshield. I was just cleaning it with my Rain-X, and can you see it there? Yep, right along that guardrail. That right there, yeah, see that? On the guardrail in the middle of it, that black area? That's a chip. Unfortunately, it's like a rock has hit my windshield and I've got to get it repaired. And unfortunately, I just put Rain-X on the windshield, and the treatment that I have, this windshield repair kit, says that I'm not supposed to put any of that on there. So I actually just cleaned it out with water a couple of times, clear water, flushed it out, and I'm driving, and when I get to the next supercharger, I'm gonna fill it in, show you guys, oops, how that works. Well, let me tell you, this is absolutely a worst nightmare, getting a chip in the giant Model X windshield. So I hope I can fix it. All right, now let's take a look. It says here that repair should be made as soon as possible before contaminated by dirt or water, and works best on round damage not more than 1 inch in diameter, which is what I have. It's actually I have smaller than that. So here's also the steps. Basically, we're going to apply this what is it, applicator base, and inject resin into the crack, force it in, get any air bubbles out, do it again, and then use like a sheet on top if there's anything that's not totally smooth. And I need to make sure I clean that crack out with the razor blade that's included first. Okay, here's the crack. Zoom in and focus on it. You see that? Right there. I'm going to clean that out with the razor blade, make sure it's all clean and opened up so I can get the resin injected in there. Yeah, you can see the little, right where the stone hit it, a little bit of loose glass. See, that's where we're going to put the injection in, right there. That's kind of deep. Wow. Shoot. All I gotta say is it's a good thing I noticed this. Clean your windshield often by hand. That's how you're going to notice these things. Alright, we're ready to put the base on now. Bit of debris, and center this over the impact point. There it is right there. Yeah. Okay, there it is, centered right over the impact point. Okay, now I screw the resin chamber in here so it's in complete contact with the impact point, but not too hard. You don't want to, apparently it messes things up if it's too hard in there. Let's see if we can see when it's going to hit the bottom. You see there. Okay. Alright, that seems good. Yeah, that seems good right there. Okay, you're supposed to check the alignment from inside the car here. It's really hard for me to tell. I think I got it right from the outside. I hope I did. Here's the repair resin. You're supposed to take that razor blade that's included and, whoa, don't go anywhere. Huh. Anyway, cut the top off of this so that you can get the resin out. And as you can see, I just sliced that little ball off the top with the razor blade. Okay, next step, you put 3 to 6 drops inside the chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll put 8 in there just to be sure. Okay, now, this part goes in, it screws right in and forces everything into the crack. And you gotta do this not in direct sunlight, by the way. It's one of the requirements, it says not in direct sunlight. And hopefully none of it should be seeping out below this. It should be going into the crack, being forced into the crack, and not seeping down on the windshield. Hopefully that did it. Oh, I see some of it seeping down. Tighten a little bit. We definitely got some seeping down, unfortunately, you can see there. Well, let's try this again. Make it a little bit tighter. And you're supposed to take this part out, remove any air bubbles, and then push it down again. Alright, there we go. Clear the air bubbles out, put it down. Definitely got some seepage there. I'm just hoping it's all going into the crack. That's the important part. That it goes into the crack and fills it and seals it. Alright, this is going down the windshield now, so I'm going to get those sheets, remove everything, and hopefully it'll have repaired the crack. These are the sheets to put on. Put one sheet on. Alright, does look like it filled it, so let me put the sheet on here, right around the crack, get any air bubbles out of there. I'm going to have to wipe off the excess now from the windshield so it doesn't dry. As you can see, I'm just using some tissues, and when it does dry, eventually you can get it off with the razor blade that they have included to scrape anything else. That's what we're going to do with this clear stuff. Once this whole thing dries in the sun, we're going to pull it off and then scrape anything excess with the razor blade. And I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to leave this on while I'm driving, since I'll be in the sun heading south like I am right now into North Carolina. Outside of that, I hope we have a successful repair. I can see that black area where the crack is, but it looks like it's been filled in, which is the whole purpose of this. Let's see. I'm trying to get any other air bubbles out of this. So hopefully it's been filled in with resin and will harden. It's supposed to be harder than the original windshield when the resin dries. It's great. A lot of these newer chemicals are like that. Even with home construction stuff, when you're putting wood together, a lot of times the glue is stronger than the wood that is bonding it together. Kind of funny like that. Alright, we'll let this dry now. I can turn the sun. I'm putting all these parts back in the kit, being careful not to lose any because you can reuse this again. Yeah, I've got plenty of resin left. Alright, you can see I've got the little sheet still on there while it's curing in the sun. The sun's on it now. Direct sun is what takes to cure that resin. Okay, as you can see, I've been driving, just got to the next supercharger, and now I just basically take off. Well, unfortunately the sheet had fallen off already, as you can see. See it there? Fell off. But I'm gonna make sure it's dry and just scrape the excess off with the razor blade. Well, it's kind of, can't tell if that's wet or what. I was driving on a road, it was really dirty. Actually, I think it's dry. Let's see. Yeah, the excess is coming off. There we go. The razor blade. Because the resin's just supposed to be inside of the cracked part, not on the part of the windshield on the outside, because that will affect the operation of your windshield wipers in a negative way. There. It looks gone. I don't even see it anymore. Well, I do see a tiny bit of it. Let's see. There it is right there. You see this mark? That's where the stone hit it. And hopefully it's filled. Doesn't look anything like what it used to look like. What do you think? I think it's a complete repair and hopefully it'll last. Breakage in there, see it? Around where the filled crack is. Hopefully that'll hold. I want to keep an eye on this over time.